an advisor. And by the way, the work of Doge is not even close to done. The work of Elon is not even close to done. You look at all of the fraudulent grants that they found. You look at people who are 150 years old, who are fraudulently collecting Social Security payments. You see our Social Security system, 40% of the people who are calling in are actually committing fraud. That means the 60% who need their Social Security checks are waiting in line. Doge has got a lot of work to do. And yeah, that
I think it does. I mean, absolutely. It's going to take forever. Do you think the working class benefits from the rich losing money on the stock market besides getting vengeance? The rich drive a lot of consumption that creates jobs. If the rich drive all of this consumption and all of this economic progress that creates jobs, then why is it that people feel like they can't afford anything now and they could 20 years ago? Why do people feel like their purchasing power and their ability to have financial stability has gone down? It's because that's not happening. Why would you take this at face value? The administration is not known for integrity or intellectual honesty. I mean, do I really need to get a source for the idea that the federal government is probably corrupt and full of people that are stupid? This has been a known entity for 50 years. I don't need a source for this. Everybody knows it. Obvious. I worked at the federal government. I saw it myself.
Work's going to continue after Elon leaves, but fundamentally, Elon is going to remain a friend and an advisor of the president who's done a lot of good things. People don't realize how vast and uncontrolled the bureaucracy was. We've started to chip away at it, but there's a lot of work to do. It's not going to happen all in 6 months. It's going to take a long and committed effort.
Tell us about the news when it comes to TikTok. It looks like the president is going to announce maybe today some proposal. Maybe America owns 50% of TikTok. A private investor will own the other part. Is that going to happen today?
So I don't want to get ahead of any presidential announcements here, but what I said is we've been working very hard, me and the president, the entire team, to really accomplish two things. First of all, you want to make sure that the TikTok app in the United States is not spying on people.
Right.
It's good for national security. You also want to give people access to this incredible platform, which, as we know, that's where a lot of young people get their news. That's where a lot of young people found out about the policies of the Trump administration. And we got to accomplish both of those things. I think that we're in a good place. We're going to keep on working at it, but I'll let the president make that announcement.
If it doesn't come out before the deadline, because I know the president extended.
It'll come out before the deadline.
It will come out.
We need a couple days to continue working on it to finalize it.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably...
Had a good nap. Did you nap? I took a bath, actually. I almost fell asleep, though. But I still have to farm a little bit more. 22k more. No, 32k more. So there's like 10 games, it's like 100 minutes, so like probably like 2 hours. And then I'll be done, luckily. And then I can play Arcane Lineage again, mostly, until Wednesday. Because Wednesday it resets and I have to get a 500k again. Oy. Well, maybe not actually. So next weekend will be AV weekend, so I'll be done until next weekend. Then I'll have to farm under the weekend, because it's like twice as fast in the weekend. Probably start on Friday. Maybe I'll start on Wednesday. I don't know yet. We'll see. Am I muted? No, I'm not muted. Okay. Just wondering.
come out. I mean, I don't think they're going to get rid of TikTok, right? Like, I mean, I really don't think so. Yeah, do you think Doge is firing only problematic, lazy people? They fired even Republicans, and yet Doge haven't had any real time to measure how useless they are? No, but if you're making the argument that there are chances where mistakes can happen, I think that you're right. Like, every single jail probably has people that are in that jail that shouldn't be in the jail. Like, you know, they got falsely imprisoned for one reason or another. But just because somebody is, just because there are bad outcomes doesn't mean you shouldn't do anything.
Things,
Sorry about that.
and of course, we're going to let the president announce whatever he ultimately decides.
Let's talk about some of the lawfare in this country because I think it's important.
Of course.
We're seeing judges block illegal immigrants that came into the country illegally. That was the first crime. Then the second time, they victimized American citizens, murder, rapists, and all that. What's going to be done about this? We're seeing these one-off stories of, you know, this person was a great father, and then they're hanging around with MS-13. So,
well, this is the reason why you don't have. So the reason why the average population doesn't give a shit about, you know, illegal immigrants being deported is, and even if, like, you know, there are some people that are like negatively affected, or like, you know, some due process isn't really being used. This is the messaging that I think that they should use in order to explain it. Basically, the reason why they're taking an extreme stance is that the situation that was created by not, like, kind of securing the border and letting all these people come in, this created a problem that they can't solve with due process, basically. And so they're not using it. That's what's going on, is that basically the problem was created, and you can't uncreate this problem unless you do something that doesn't use due process. Problem by what metric? By the metric of having 10 to 20 million illegal immigrants. And that's the reason why the messaging for, oh, but they're not listening to the judge. Well, if the rule of law is something that should be applied all the time, then why didn't they apply the rule of law when these people came in? Why are they even here in the first place? Well, you've created this situation that now it's so bad, you have them trying to do something different. And, like, they are probably breaking the rules and not following the judge's orders, etc. But the situation was created by breaking the rules and not following orders either. Things like sanctuary cities, for example. So that's the reason, yeah, they broke the law by letting these people in. Exactly. And that's why you have the majority of people that still support the deportations and mass deportations. That's the reason why. Two wrongs don't make a right. Yeah, they do. That's absolutely. They do in this case? Yep, in this case it does. And again, I don't necessarily think that this is the best way of doing it, but if you can't understand what I'm explaining, I don't know what to tell you. Allowing a wrong to continue is still wrong? Yeah. Well, that's a crazy take. Do you guys think that I'm right about my viewpoint on this? This is top-level brain rot? No, it's not. Is that you have ignored the rules. You have stopped listening to what the border and immigration policy is. You have created this extreme circumstance that is cataclysmic and problematic for a lot of people, or at least the perception of it is that it is cataclysmic and problematic. And now, in order to solve the problem, you expect people to follow every single rule that you conveniently ignored in order to create the problem. And you're confused why people don't want to hold them to that standard. Well, it's because you didn't hold yourself to that standard. It's the same reason why nobody cares about Trump being a convicted felon. Trump's a 34x convicted felon. How many? That's insane, right? How do you do it? And I bet a few of them are probably legit. I think he probably did. I think he probably fucked over tons of people. Absolutely. Probably a piece of shit. But the thing is that when Hunter Biden isn't in jail, the average person is not going to give a fuck about what Trump did. You can't watch Hunter Biden playing Grand Theft Auto in real life, smoking crack, driving 150 miles an hour, and see this guy isn't in jail, and then expect people to care about, like, some white-collar bullshit with Donald Trump. Which one's worse, smoking crack and driving under the influence of crack, or some weird, like, tax reporting? Which one do you think average people care about more? He left us a, yeah, the laptop? Yeah, well, I'm saying, like, that's it.
Let me get out.
And
Hold on, Luke.
why Hunter isn't president? Yeah, but the person who is the reason why he's not in jail. So it's the same thing. If Hunter Biden was a non-white person that came from a working class background, where would
Easy
Hunter
win,
Biden
thanks to
be?
me.
Everybody knows the answer to this.
Here there.
He'd be in jail. Everybody knows it.
It's going to be done. The courts are blocking this
So
right
this,
now.
again, my point is that this is the reason why a lot of people don't give a shit about, like, Donald Trump ignoring these courts. It's because the problem was created by ignoring the law, and so solving the problem by ignoring the law is viewed as equivalent exchange. That's the reason why.
The executive branch, what are you guys going to do about it?
Well, look, we're going to keep on appealing, and we're going to keep on fighting back here. First of all, we have to remember the most important
cancel
thing
each
is to
other out?
stop
Yeah.
the bleeding, to stop.
Somebody says it's not right to do that. It wasn't right to let them all in either. And so when people said it's not right to let these people in, and then you said, too bad, but now you say it's not right to get these people out, and then somebody else says too bad, oh, that's it. You're very close-minded. Your take only matters. Do you want to know the truth? I don't blame any of the illegal immigrants. Do you know who I really want to send to El Salvador? The people who run the companies who employed them knowingly. And if it was up to me, that's what would happen. That's what I think. If you want to talk about fair, that's what I would do. So I'm explaining the way that people look at this. I don't necessarily agree with it in all circumstances.
Influx of massive illegal immigration into the country, and in 2 months the president has already done that. You have illegal border crossings down over 95% in pretty much every part of the American southern border. Then yeah, we got to get the violent criminals out of here. We've got to get illegal immigrants who came in during the Biden administration out of our country. That's what we're working on now. You're right, the courts, some radical left judges have stepped in and said you're not allowed to deport MS-13 gang members. That's crazy. We think the Supreme Court's going to overrule it, and we're going to keep on fighting for the president's
Well, they're
prerogative.
going to do it even as the Supreme Court says that they can't do it. Like, I'm just going to tell you right now, Trump doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck. He's going to do it anyway. So, like, that's it. Yeah, they screwed. Yeah, exactly. Kind of dangerous. It was also kind of dangerous letting you in. Exactly. See, now you're starting to get it. It's a dictatorship. I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen. And people will not care.
To enforce the law. Look, you have to remember the number of people who came in here, the innocent American, you know, girls like Jocelyn Nungray who lost their lives. Democrats never wept for them. Democrats never issued a congressional resolution of condemnation for their murder. Democrats didn't do anything to make it harder for violent thugs to come into our country and prey on innocent young women. What they're getting fired up about, what they're most angry about, is not that Jocelyn Nungray was murdered, but that the person who murdered her is getting shipped back home where they belong, not in the United States of America.
And I think this is the correct emotional framing of this problem, and I think that this is the winning framing. Is that why are you focusing on an illegal gang member being deported and not the person who is the victim of this crime? And this is the big thing that I think liberals have really kind of like lost the message war with, is that I think that liberals for a very long time, what their strongest and like biggest tool is emotional manipulation and emotional blackmail. You know, oh, won't somebody think about these poor kids, or think about this, like, you know, like preying on people's emotions one way or another. If you can subvert that, and then shift it around to them, it breaks down their entire argumentation. The truth, you mean? Well, it depends on the perspective, right? It does. It depends on the perspective. But what I'm saying is that they're basically, like, Republicans in a lot of cases have not been playing these emotional, like, identity politics rhetoric games. And now that they are, because, like, honestly, Trump is an extremely good communicator, and he's been in entertainment for a very long time, and so he knows how to manipulate and communicate with people better than almost anybody else does. And I think JD Vance does too. And so Orange Man Bat, no, he does. Like, whether you think that, like, that's why he has these rallies and everybody loves him, people are wearing his hat all the time. Like, and is it really, like, even if you think Trump is a dictator, yeah, well, people loved Stalin and they liked Lenin and they liked Saddam Hussein even. Like, a lot of people did. They liked Hitler. I mean, the whole idea is, like, if you are one of these, like, dictators and really powerful people, almost every single one of them is extremely charismatic and is extremely easy to follow, right? Even, like, the guys from, like, the terrorist organizations, like that Nasrallah, Hassan Nasrallah, he's very well-spoken. He's very well-spoken. He's a great communicator. And if you can't acknowledge that, you're denying reality. And that's, yeah, people are stupid. Yeah, they are. And so that's, I think, what's going on. Trump exposed the widespread corruption with Doge and ICE, yet no government official has been held accountable. I agree with you. I think it's a huge problem. But my point is that they've lost this emotional messaging war because of this shift of communications.
I think it shows a disgraceful set of priorities from congressional Democrats. We're not going to let that stand in our way. We're going to keep on doing the American people's work.
Mr. Vice President, can I get you to put your lawyer hat on for a second? Because they're pointing to one of these cases of a gentleman that they said should not have been deported from El Salvador. They said he was not connected to MS-13. What would you tell them about that case? Because they're saying that
this is a great opportunity, because a lot of people have been saying this.
This is a person that was a great member of society. You've looked at the court records. You've talked to the men and women on the ground. What can you tell us about that situation?
Well, there have been a few cases out there where the Democrats and the media say, oh, this person was just an innocent father of three, and then you find out, for example, I think this is the case that you're talking about. Back in 2019, an immigration judge looked at all the evidence, looked at all the data, and concluded that this allegedly innocent person that we sent to El Salvador was actually a member of an MS-13 gang. He had also committed some traffic violations. He had not shown up for some court dates. This is not exactly Father of the Year here. This is...
Exactly. Traffic violations? Well, I want you to think about it like this. What happens when you send illegal immigrants to El Salvador for traffic violations? I'll tell you what's going to happen. The illegal immigrants here are going to stop violating the traffic regulations, and less people are going to come over. You go to Singapore, you don't see a lot of people littering, do you? Yeah, send a message? Yeah, it sends a message, and it's brutal. It's brutal, and you could say that it's morally wrong even. But it works.
The person that we don't think should be in our country. Here's the most important point, though, Lawrence, is whatever the argument is, whatever the justification is, no one doubts, not even the crazy left-wing media criticized the idea that we could deport this person. They just took issue with the reasoning for why we deported this person. This was unquestionably an illegal alien. This was unquestionably a person who broke the laws to get into our country. This is unquestionably a person, an immigration judge.
It's again, like, what do you think other people that are going to immigrate illegally to America and come into America illegally are thinking? Do you think that the risk of being sent to CCOT in El Salvador is going to decrease the amount of people coming over? Because I think it absolutely will. It 100% will. Yeah, it sets an example, of course.
Had found had zero right to be in the United States of America. We do not ask permission.
Absolutely, it's horrifying. It is. And I think that people don't understand this about... This is one thing about Trump, is that this might sound crazy. I think Trump is a genuine fucking psychopath. I do. I think he is a 100% psychopath, and he would do this stuff without a second of hesitation. Mafia tactics? Yes. It's scary. Yes, exactly. And yeah, agreed. Exactly. It's unpredictable. Besson? Yes, he's very, very, very good at doing this. And so to think that like they are gonna put like, oh, they're gonna put that past him, he absolutely would do it.
From far left Democrats before we deport illegal immigrants. We do the American.
And he would do this stuff without a second of hesitation. Mafia tactics? And I think that people don't understand this about, this is one thing about Trump is that, this might sound crazy, I think Trump is a genuine fucking psychopath. I do. I think he is a 100% psychopath, and he would do this stuff without a second of hesitation. Mafia tactics? Yes. It's scary. Yes, exactly. And yeah, agreed. Exactly. It's unpredictable. Besson? Yes, he's very, very, very good at doing this. And so to think that like they are gonna put like, oh, they're gonna put that past him, he absolutely would do it.
From far left Democrats before we deport illegal immigrants. We do the American people's business. And again, for the American people who are watching, this is such a weird, mistaken placement of priorities. We need to make our country.
I agree with him, by the way. I think it's very annoying to me that when a person who's like a known supporter of a terrorist organization is getting deported, you're having protests for them trying. It's like basically it's a race to the bottom to find the most morally reprehensible person and then defend them as hard as you can.
Bro, I'm so sleepy.
Far left Democrats before we deport illegal immigrants. We do the American people's business. And again, for the American people who are watching, this is such a weird, mistaken placement of
immigrate illegally to America and come into America illegally. Are thinking, do you think that the risk of being sent to CCOD in El Salvador is going to decrease the amount of people coming over? Because I think it absolutely will. it 100% will. Yeah, it sets an example, of course.
Had found had zero right to be in the United States of America. We do not ask permission.
Absolutely, it's horrifying. It is. And I think that people don't understand this about, this is one thing about Trump, is that this might sound crazy. I think Trump is a genuine fucking psychopath. I do. I think he is a 100% psychopath, and he would do this stuff without a second of hesitation. Mafia tactics? Yes. It's scary. Yes, exactly. And yeah, agreed. Exactly. It's unpredictable. Besson? Yes, he's very, very, very good at doing this. And so to think that like they are gonna put like, oh, they're gonna put that past him, he absolutely would do it.
From far left Democrats, before we deport illegal immigrants, we do the American people's business. And again, for the American people who are watching, this is such a weird, mistaken placement of priorities. We need to make our country.
I agree with him, by the way. I think it's very annoying to me that when a person who's like a known supporter of a terrorist organization is getting deported, you're having protests for them trying. It's like basically it's a race to the bottom to find the most morally reprehensible person and then defend them as hard as you can.
Stronger. We need to create jobs. We need to make our streets safer. What is it about congressional Democrats that get more angry at deporting violent gang members than they do at the victims of those violent gang members? I don't even understand where they're coming from. They've gone off the deep end and they got to come back to reality.
I think it goes to the larger point, though, about the lawfare happening right now. It's not just the immigration cases, but pretty much everything that the executive is doing right now has been challenged in these lower courts.
Sure.
Is there a way to expedite this straight to the Supreme Court? Or do we legally have to let lower courts, make these decisions?
Yeah.
It goes to the appeal courts and finally it goes to the Supreme Court. People are saying the 4 years.
That doesn't have to go to court at all. I mean, what happens if Trump just does it anyway? Because that's what he's going to do. Even if the courts say he's not going to do it, he's going to do it anyway, and he has been. Like, am I crazy for thinking that the entire logic of the plane was outside of U.S. jurisdiction or outside of the United States boundary, which means that they couldn't turn the plane around? That's total bullshit. That's total bullshit. Like, what rule? How does any rule work like that? But he just did it anyway. It didn't matter. Yeah, it didn't fucking matter.
What did he say?
Like, am I crazy for thinking that the entire logic of the plane was outside of U.S. jurisdiction or outside of the United States boundary, which means that they couldn't turn the plane around? That's total bullshit. That's total bullshit. Like, what rule? How does any rule work like that? But he just did it anyway. It didn't matter. Yeah, it didn't fucking matter. It was an obvious setup. Yeah, as these deportations are a big show, totally crap. I think that the show of the deportations is good for sending a message for people that would potentially come over, because if they see that a bunch of people are getting deported and sent to these super jails, they would probably be less likely to come over.
They'll be up by then.
Well, there are a lot of things that we can do, not just appeals. We can limit the jurisdiction of certain courts. Even when certain courts make a ruling, say that you're not allowed to deport a person for a certain reason, we can still deport that person for another reason. So it's not like deportations have stopped, but yes, the radical courts are a problem. But our view here is we knew we were going to have this fight. We were prepared for it. We're going to litigate it all the way to the Supreme Court. We think that we're going to win. And when we do win, that will end this question permanently. Think about this. The Democrats, they're spending so many resources fighting the deportation of gang members. You have to ask, where are their priorities? But I
think this is absolutely true. Like, they've totally lost the messaging with this, where the focus is always around, defending, illegal, gang member migrants. Like, if you're finding yourself on their side, you're making a mistake.
Knew they were going to do this. We're prepared for it, Lawrence, and we're going to fight all the way to the top of the courts.
Mr. Vice President, I think about your life story. Very similar to mine as well, growing up with nothing, and now you're the Vice President of the United States.
Great country, man.
It is a great country. We're almost to the 100-day mark.
Yeah.
We know the president's been strong on the border. We've seen almost operational control of the border at this point. We've seen the waste, fraud, and abuse being brought to light. How do you think, how would you rate this first 100 days?
Man, I think the president has done more in 100 days than almost any administration has done in 8 years. And I really think that when you consider the southern border, which was the biggest crisis that we got elected to solve, 2 months in, border crossings are almost at zero when it comes to illegal border crossings. When I think just about where I grew up, the factory closures, the fact that, you know, friends of mine were getting their parents laid off. I talked to a lot of people who couldn't afford a home on the campaign trail. I talked to women who were worried about...
These are all the people that don't give a shit about the stock market, by the way. These are all the people that could give less of a fuck that BlackRock's portfolio went down 3%.
Price of a dozen eggs. We're making steady progress on all those issues. Yes, it doesn't happen overnight, but when you look at the hundreds of billions of dollars in new investment coming into our country, auto plants that were planned to close that are now adding shifts as opposed to closing, egg prices that are way down, gasoline prices that are way down. We're making a lot of progress, but there's still a lot left to do. And I know the president is laser focused on it, so am I.
You have become almost the fighter-in-chief. The president sends out a message and he puts it in bullet points for the American people. And then you go on the Sunday shows and you duke it out with them. Sometimes you duke it out with world leaders in the Oval Office as well. And there's a lot of people saying about the mantle of MAGA, what happens after these 4 years. I guess this is my final question to you. Do you run for president after this? Do you? I know
He's not gonna give an answer.
You're gonna tell me you're gonna focus on being vice president right now. But
exactly
people are wondering if we can accomplish all of this in 4 years, and they want some security in that. Is JD the man to continue the MAGA agenda?
Well, look, man, I really am just not focused on politics. I'm not focused on the midterm elections in 2026, much less the presidential election in 2028. When we get to that point, I'll talk to the president. We'll figure out what we want to do. But the way I think about it is if we do a good job, the politics take care of themselves. I think that's true.
Talk to me. Walk with you.
Yeah, I think as long as people feel like they're in a better spot at the end of Trump's term, they'll vote for whoever is going to continue that. Like, yeah, deliver things and make it look good. That's the only thing that matters. Look at Wisconsin. They lost that Supreme Court thing, right? That's because abortion's a losing issue. That's the reason why. It's a 70-30 issue that conservatives are on the losing end of. Stop pushing it. That's it. Like, I'm sorry, this is just what the numbers are. You want to win? Stop taking, again, take your own advice and stop taking 70-30, 80-20 issues. It was stupid. It was stupid to have gotten rid of Roe versus Wade. It was stupid to have not made it a federal law. And it massively set back Republicans in a tangible way, especially with women. It was a mistake.
America to be wealthy again. I want our communities to be safe again. I want us to be opening factories rather than closing down factories. I want people of my generation to be able to afford a home to raise a family in, and I want to stop all of the ridiculous wars that were started by the previous administrations. There's so much to do, man, and I don't really think that much about what happens in
A lot of people are arguing we don't need Roe versus Wade. I'm pro-abortion. Even if you think abortion is medieval killing babies, the majority of the country doesn't. And if you fixate on that issue, you'll lose not only on that issue, but you'll lose in all of the other issues too. So is it worth it to you to grandstand about this issue at the expense of not only never getting what you want with this issue, but on top of that, sabotaging other issues at the same time? I am pragmatic. I think the answer to that is no. I think abortion is horrible. I think it's medieval. It's awful. But I think people should be able to do it. That's it. Regardless of popularity, it shouldn't be federal. I think it should be. I think abortion is a human rights issue, and human rights should be decided on a federal level and not a state level. That's my opinion.
3.5 years. If I do a good job, if the president does a good job, the American...
And by the way, keep telling me I'm wrong. That's fine. You'll keep losing. This is just an issue that most people don't fucking agree with. Sorry. Like, that's it.
People, and I know that we will. The politics will take care of itself. Let's just do a good job.
Well, when you do decide, you got to make me a promise. And it's going to be on Fox and Friends. It has to be. Mr.
We'll
Vice
talk, man.
President,
Thank you.
you so much. We appreciate it. All right, family, just wrapped up with the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance. I'll send it to you guys.
Good job, Lawrence.
Great.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brett.
Very good interview. Yeah, I thought it was a good interview. I think he asked a lot of the questions that a lot of people had. I'll link you guys the video as well. And yeah, the baby killers. I know people really get. You can't say separation of church and state, then turn around and federally ban abortion because of Christian values. You look like a retard at that point. The people that are saying separation of church and state are not the ones that are saying to allow abortion or ban abortion. Sorry. So like. This is really what I think with that is that, again, I think that the sooner that conservatives and like the MAGA people and like the Trump like population, they need to move away from the abortion issue. They do. It is massively fucking polarizing. They're on the losing side of it. And at the end of the day, people are still going to get abortions. Like, it's like weed, right? I think weed is another great example. A lot of people didn't like smoking weed. They didn't like the fact that people are smoking weed, and they were very, you know, like, okay, well, we're going to make a law against it. We're going to put you in jail for smoking weed or for whatever other reason. And you know what happened? It caused Republicans and conservatives to lose over and over and over until they acquiesced and they decided, you know what? Maybe weed isn't all so bad. That's it. And so again, like my perspective with basically everything is that Trump did not lose women voters on abortion. Trump did not lose women voters on abortion. Stop being a coward and start talking about some of the drawbacks, costs of these policies. Well, I can pull you up. What do you think a drawback is? What's your point? Yeah, what is the drawback that I'm not discussing? You can type it out. I'll continue this while he types it. Yeah, they're clearly not on the losing side though, and MSM just inflates it like everything else. No, actually they are. Abortion, polling America. So this right here is the public opinion on abortion right here. And you can see that it's 60% of people, 63% of people are pro-abortion, and legal in most cases versus illegal in most cases. So you see, like, obviously, you know, there are a lot of people who are religious, and this is like very much a religious perspective. But collectively, you can see women do, like, there are 33% of women that are against abortion. So it's not like this is a one-sided issue, but it is true that this is a massive issue for women. 63% is nothing? No, it's not. 63% is larger than the amount of people that want mass deportations. 63% is majority. 63%. Did Trump win by 63%? No, he won by a fraction of that. So, do you think McDonald's will keep their prices the same? No, inflation is going to cause all prices to go up. If they hire American workers, so we're going to have higher prices for more expensive labor? No, I don't think they're going to hire American workers either. I think that it's better for them to deport all of the illegals because they're not going to have any jobs because everything's going to be automated, including McDonald's. So when McDonald's is fully automated and you have 2 employees that do the work of 10, where the fuck are all these illegal immigrants going to go? Well, they're not going to go anywhere. I think they should go back to where they came from. How about that? So like, this is a false dichotomy. Like, I don't even think about it like that. It's not about like what's best for American workers. It's about why are these people here in the first place when their jobs are just going to get replaced anyway. Really, and that's raises also why. Do you see what I'm saying here? Trump is powerful, but he can't prevent McDonald's from raising the cost of your cheeseburgers. Well, it doesn't matter because I get my cheeseburgers from a better place than McDonald's, number one. And number two, he also can't prevent the ongoing automation, and it's the automation that's really going to be a lot bigger than anything else. That's really where it's going to go come from. Do we import beef? I don't know. I don't know about every import of everything. Who produces the automated devices? There's a bit of delay. Who produces the automated devices? It depends, right? And that's why it's important to make manufacturing here in the US, and that's why you set the foundation for that now, because in 20 years, you're going to have fully autonomous places, and you already have a few of them already. And so you start that now. Now, another good point is that you're bringing up is that other places might actually still create the devices. That's a good point, and I think it'll probably still be true. And it's not a binary thing. Slavery was popular at one time. It didn't become immoral. It always was. Labor has to produce the automations. You have poor people working the factories, man. No, poor people will not be working factories. Robots will be working factories. That's just it. The entire why would poor people be working in factories whenever you could just have a machine do the same thing? It doesn't even make any sense. You can't automate a drywaller? Okay. So your argument is that because there's a handful of jobs that are harder to automate, then automation isn't going to be a massive impact on and we weren't talking about drywalling, were we? We were talking about McDonald's, and McDonald's already has an autonomous like locations. So yeah, number one is yet, and number two is that's not even what the conversation was about. Here's the problem with your logic, it fucks us now. Yeah, it does. You know, you're right. You're absolutely right, it does. That's true. Let me look at a few more of these. I don't care about your fake and gay stock market collapsing, boomers. You locked me in a decaying comedy block apartment over the flu and cost me my job. I'm nearly 40 in the worst job market ever in a century. Because of your greed and selfishness, I voted for this. I'm 24 and I don't care about 401ks. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Remember what I told you guys the other day about how with the Trump tariffs, people weren't going to care because they don't have stocks and they think it's bullshit? And everybody said there's no way they're gonna be thinking this. There's no way they're gonna think this. Well, fuck your 401ks, I want my country back. And so you're having way more people saying this because the big problem is that I think that whenever you have like a global economy and you're competing against, like, let's say people from India that are willing to do the job for like 1/10 the amount of money that you're willing to do it at, or 50% or 80%, even something less extreme, is this good for the country that is providing a platform for this to happen for? And in general, I think the answer to that is no. And what's a 401k? Yeah, exactly, right? And I think this is what's happening to a lot of these people, is that people see society and they see, you know what it's like? I don't really like using a lot of like movie comparisons because it's like it's a movie, but like it's like the end of Fight Club, right? Where like all the banks get destroyed and all the debt is wiped out, all the credit's wiped out, everything's wiped out. The idea that, and why was that so popular among young men? Even then it was. The reason why is that I think that there is a prevailing idea that young men have, that they are born into a rigged system that's actively working against them. And when they see things like, you know, scholarship opportunities for people who have an identity that's different than theirs, like being women or something like that, they kind of are. Well, that's not the point, right? The point is, see, like, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter what's true, it matters what people think is true. And so this is what people think is true. And so, yeah, globalists hate us, exactly. And so this is the reason why you see so much support for the Trump tariffs. It's because people look at, you know, for example, like if you look at the stock market, let me just pull it up. This is the first graphic I can find, right? And so anyway, if you zoom in, let me go back. We'll do like right here. So this is in the last year. So a lot of the gains that happened in the stock market, especially after like in 2020 here, a lot of these gains were amounts of money that were gained inside of the top 1% of the population. And I think what you're going to see here, and this is what the tariffs are showing you, is that we are going to have a convergence of people who are, you know, basically extremely nationalistic, and they want the country to act in their best interest and not in the best interest of like some global, you know, international company. And you're going to see that happen, and you're going to see a convergence of that with like extreme left, like economic policy. And we're already seeing this happening. And so this is the reason why they don't care about the stock market. It's because the stock market represents a bunch of rich people that control everything, who these people look at as the ones who've ruined their lives. So why the fuck would a young guy who doesn't have any stocks, and they feel like they, you know, this is like, if you're a young man, it's hard for you to get a job. There are, you know, systematic ways that you're disenfranchised or denied opportunities. And on like the culture, you know, it seems like it's okay to make fun of young men and other things that are similar to that. No stocks, fuck them. Exactly. They want revenge. Yes, exactly. Rust Belt revenge. That's exactly it. And so this is the reason why you see so many people supporting the Trump tariffs. And this is the part that a lot of people won't say out loud. They want it to go down. They think, fuck these companies, these international companies that are getting rich off of these, you know, like fucking sweatshop laborers, and, you know, they've put Americans out of a job. They want it to go down. Yeah, buy the dip. No, I'm being serious, right? How does this benefit them, though? Because it hurts somebody that they don't like, and that's good enough. See, this is the part that you don't understand, is that when people feel desperate, they'll set somebody else on fire. If people like this feel cold, they're willing to set somebody else on fire to warm themselves up. That's the way it works. And so that's how it happens. It's 40% right. No, and I'm telling you guys, this is what's going to happen. And you're seeing it now. And tariffs happen like this caused the Great Depression. You're right, though. Yeah, but I don't think that these people are already in the Great Depression in their mind. They're already in the Great Depression. They've been in the Great Depression. These are people that have like crushing student aid debt. They have, you know, no real sense of like upward mobility in the society or anything like that. And so they're like, okay, you want to have a Great Recession or whatever? That's fine. And I think that really it is a nuclear option. It is an extreme nuclear option. But I think that a lot of young men are more than willing to take it. And that's why if you look at all of these posts and people, almost every single person who's posting positively about the tariffs is a young man. Have you noticed that? Because I've been reading about this a lot. I've been reading about it, trying to figure out like what the fuck is going on here. No careers, only entry-level crap. Exactly. And so, yeah, they're Trump cultists. No, it's beyond that. It's beyond that. Basically, these types of things happening, and I'll read this again. This is the way that people think. I'm 24, I don't care about 401ks. I am still paying off my $10,000 car that I had to buy at 12% interest rate because Biden hiked the rates for first-time buyer rates. I have a $250 a month insurance payment because you let 100 million illegal immigrants drive without licenses. My rent is nearly $2K a month because you made it illegal to build and imported millions of foreigners to replace me. So a lot of young guys, they see an old movie, right? And it's like a guy that has just like your traditional everyday job, and he has a wife and kids and a house. And they think about, why can't I have that? And they assume that it's because of these people that have a lot of the wealth. And the fact is that they're right. To a big extent, they're right. A lot of the reasons why these people don't have any fucking money is because all of the money and wealth is consolidated in the top 1% of the society. That they're right. And so the problem is that how far are these people willing to go in order to get what they believe to be their dignity back? Right? It's everybody else's fault? Yeah, it is. And that's the way that they're going to look at it. And that's the point that I'm making. Why are you making it sound like tariffs are such an insane idea? I don't care about what you think about them at all. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. That's not the point. The point is, why do people support them? Why are people against them? And so it's the same reason why all of the people that were talking so great about Luigi killing a person that, worked at one of these big companies are now crying about the big companies losing market value. It's because they don't care about the person, but they've got stock in the company. That's the reason why. And this is what I've said before about how every single time people have values.
2 hour things. I'm almost done. 10k left. So probably like 5 more games. Next week I'll probably start on Friday, but I might start earlier because I get worried that I might not have enough time, you know? I'm not sure, really. I'm not sure. But it should be a lot. It's like, I think about 30 hours. 30 to 40 hours. 30 to 40. It might be like 41 even. I'm not sure. I didn't keep count. Next week, AV week will be AV weekend, so it'll probably start on Friday. And then I can, what is this Defend game? Yeah, I'll start on Friday, because I get double honor. I think it starts on Friday too, double honor. I could probably do it in 2 days if I play a lot, like 12 hours a day. What class was that? There's a corpse there. Stizzle. Cannot loot it before it's gone, probably not. Unless he's walking as a ghost. Yeah. I mean... Ooh, I bet this guy is gonna have to walk back now. To the graveyard. Yoink. Money, money, money. I pressed escape on the first corpse, but it didn't cancel it. Probably was like timed at the same time. Such a weird bug though, that I cannot loot them unless they... Or like, I don't loot them if they release while I'm looting. It's so weird. I just want to loot. They killed one. too. That's fine. I can die. I don't mind. Oh, I can turn in now. I have enough to turn in. I got 100 already. It's already too much, really. Before it's too late.
You got my attention. Cristiano Payne, walk with you. Good. Now on. Here there. Watch.
No, they did drop in price actually. They're now they're 45 gold instead of 100.
Now on. Good. Walk with you. It's Cristiano Payne. Here there. Now on. It's Cristiano Payne. Watch on.
No. Oh, there's one. The 24.
You got my attention. What can I do for you? How are ya? What's on your mind? Watch your back. Off with you. Great to meet you. Hi. See you soon. How are
Yeah,
ya?
it's the last one.
Safe travels. See you soon. What can I do for you? Great to meet you.
Yeah, they probably won't. But probably not a whole lot of people want to buy it either. Do I even really want it right now? When I have this trinket? Like I have DFT, what am I gonna replace for it? 2% hit or that proc, or 2% crit or that proc. It's quite a difficult choice. Yeah, if it's decent, that'd be nice. I could also test it if it scales with spell power. It's nature damage. Yeah, I don't think it will though. It should be way less than that. Because my poisons are already like that percentage. You know? And I doubt it's gonna have that same proc rate. Hey. Oh, there's another one. 25.
Need help? Be careful. What can I do for you? Light bless you. Greetings. Well met. Need help? King's honor, friend. For the alliance. Light be with you. Go with honor, friend. Well met. Light be with you. Be careful. For the alliance. Need help? King's honor, friend. What can I do for you? Greetings. Light bless you.
Too bad they didn't send the other one back. Should I loot the mine? I don't know. These people are always like this. They always want you to play the way they want you to play. Like, it's so... I hate it so much. It's so annoying. It's like in League of Legends too. It's like that too. I'm already dead. Didn't have to sprint. They don't have ill will though. I know. But isn't that ill will? It's like your parents. Doing stuff for you that you never asked for. Because it worked for them, yeah. I get that. There's a corpse there. Yes! Do I have enough? I got 30. Yeah, I'll go back again. Actually, no. I'll do one more death. Although, that might be too late then. 8 hours a day to support yourself? Living at your mom's place? Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? They're gonna kill me. Okay, now I can turn. Now I can recall. I looted one extra corpse. Hopefully that's enough. I'll do the armor scrubs last. Killing bosses is what ends the game, but they don't understand the allies disappearance and whatnot. Yeah, true. They don't see it. They don't see that we have a different perspective, basically. They cannot see that other people have a different perspective. I guess. Ah, this one's dead. It's over. Which is this guy? Nobody.
Get something? For the Alliance, light be with you. What can I do for you? Be careful.
Alright. I'll plant this rod and send back the other wing commander. Oh. So even that the perspective doesn't exist. Like, explain the card to get born in 5080. Yeah, true. It's like a completely different worldview. Or existence. I got a lot of rep this run. Yeah. Probably. But it will still go double as fast. Or, yeah. I think so. It will still go faster. Even if I lose 90%, if I lose faster, I don't get turtle games, maybe. It should be insanely an insane amount of honor. It'll go real fast, like 5k per game. So I'll have to do like 100 games. Okay, nice. I slowed them and pulled them away from the bunker. It goes maybe 40% faster, 50%? Maybe. They're going bunker for bunker. Fuck. Nice. He actually used a lip. A limited invulnerability potion he used. That's crazy. You're staying here, boy. You're staying here. What a range. Troll has insane range. Okay. Let's deliver this Snowfall Graveyard. I just hopped off. We can do MV tomorrow? Yeah. Alright. I should be done tonight with this honor, so I'll have time. Sorry, bro. I'm not gonna help you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, at least I spawn on the graveyard now. I'm gonna go sleep. I'm gonna wake up early and I'll hop on. Alright, man. Good night. This will help a lot to have this extra backup. And that's gonna be really useful. Two-stall game, yeah. It'll help push. It's like an annoying boss that keeps doing like 1,000 damage to people. 1,000 or 2,000. This one is still here. Do we have anyone all the way south? I can't see. No, we don't. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nope. 2.
Illume be with you, goddess watcher. I am honored. May the stars guide you. Asha Thelai.
I've gotten over 1k rep so far in this game.
Goddess watch over. Go in peace. Illume light your path. Asha
The forest shakes. Okay, so I'm like a third of the way down.
Asha Thelai. Ishnu
Probably need like 50 more.
May the stars guide you. Goddess watch over you. Illume light your path. Asha Thelai. Illume light your path. May the stars guide you. Peace be with you.
How is this not considered automation though, this add-on? This add-on is fine, but auto clicker is not. Okay. Yeah, it is a lot. But I did get it. What do I do here?
Destroy them.
It says there leave no survivors, but I hear destroy them. No, I was about to eviscerate. Pew. Bro healed. Kill him, kill him, kill him! Ah, no, kill him, kill him! Pew, 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 pew! No, fucking asshole. Well, not really. It's not like it's his fault. There's like 300 onions. I think it is. I did like over, I did like 100 of, what's it called? The commander's mark. From Cosmo Dawn. I delivered like 80 of these ones. This one is almost done as well. I'll do the storm crystals first.
Greetings. Go in peace. Asha Thelai. Illume be with you. I am honored.
Oh, exactly.
Great to meet you. What's on your mind?
Oh,
See you soon. Watch your back.
I don't think I can protect them. Look, they're killing it. Oh, she cleansed me. No, they're pulling it back. They're pulling the NPCs back. I got some armor scraps. You did them all solo? Pretty much, yeah. Usually other people take quite some rep. You deliver for AV rep. Do other people get AV rep? No, they don't get, you don't get ally rep, sadly. It's only when you deliver it yourself.
Talk to me. Watch your back.
You didn't even upgrade the units yet.
Gonna fight for cause. Watch on your mind. Talk to me. Gonna fight.
At least this one is infinite. They're still the same. Wow, that was a lot. At least they focused on me instead of moving forward to get the bunkers. Those archers can at least do some work. I mean, I should have known. Or expected.
Here there.
No, 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 no. Wow, fucking warlock on the wall there. Slow them. Slow them.
Slay them all. You got my attention. Here there. Watch your back. You got my attention. Up with you. Talk to me. What's on your mind? Interested on the fight? You got my attention. Here there. Good.
Fuck. He saw me first. I'd play a Druid if they had turtle form. You should go bunker protected. Yeah, it's too difficult now. They're overrun. They should have enough time now to actually do Drek though. Man. That's bad. They already killed all the archers. Okay, it doesn't show. They're just taking one flag at a time. I die in one stun. Woohoo! Whoa! Shit. If only this other wing commander was sent back, that'd be cool. It's 76 more extra items. War Rider, let's lose a Shiro cry. If they get the Wolf Riders, that'd be insane. There's a flare up there. Wait. Flare's gone. Oh, his pet pulled. There's a hunter. Hopefully they'll wipe him, but they might just win now. Oh no, Vance arrived. You'll never get me out of my bunker, heathens. So they tried to kill him, but he got out. He survived. I gotta hurry up. There's probably a lot of corpses there. No corpses. Shit. Well, we saved a little bit of time. We should stand in the middle, yeah. If a row comes close, but they usually flare the middle, that's the issue. They flare the middle. That's it. Can't do more. Apparently I can only plant one beacon either. It's like a 30-minute cooldown. Middle part, middle back. Yeah. They're not doing drag somehow. I really want to loot it, but there's no point in looting it anymore. Or there is. They did send them back, and I have 76. Shit, I gotta hurry up. Come on, before the game's over. Drektar failed again. Come on. Oh, that's it. So 60. Alliance boss is losing. It's about to be over. It's over. Well, 300 wrap. Yeah, and I did three of them. So that's like 900 wrap, and then I did a lot of crystals too. Oh, I should have kept my tokens. Shit. So next week I can have a start of like 2k honor. Well, whatever. I'm at 18k now. Out of 21. This one is 12k though, 13k. So I still need a lot more. I might get exalted with everything next week. Maybe. It depends on how many turtle games I guess. But I will definitely make it before rank 14, I think. It's probably allowed. These are still expensive. I want to buy these, but they're so expensive. To beg for money. It's probably allowed to beg for money. 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. How much is this per? 12 gold. For 5, for 30. 1 gold 16. Alright, this might be the last one I need to do. And then I can play some Roblox. Maybe. Yeah, on Wednesday. Next Wednesday I can next Wednesday I get this, this, and this. These 3. So the leggings I get. Oops. Less AP, plus +1 extra hit. But I lose also the set bonus, which I don't like. But I could get the boots as well. Or the gloves. I'm probably gonna get the boots, so I can get the movement enchant. Plus is better. And then 2 weeks after that, I get these items, these 3, 2 weeks later. But I only need the hat. Should do whatever to keep the rare PvP set for the 40 AP. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I have to. Like the gloves I can't do because I need the molten core gloves, 100%. Bracers is gonna be, unless you want to make it to 0.5. Yeah, not really. I can't really do that anyway. It takes too long. It's like no point. By that time I'll have way better gear. What? Because the energy region is really nice? Yeah, for sure. 5% proc chance. It is quite good, honestly. But I'm not 100% convinced, you know? I'm not sure. Because majority of my damage is auto attacks, not backstabs. But still, more backstabs is still good, obviously. 30% more energy region? That's kind of insane, actually. If you put it that way, maybe it is worth. But it's 4 pieces that I have to change. Yeah, I don't know. I'll lose quite a lot of AP. Yeah. Yeah, the tier 0.5, right? The epic version. Yeah, the chest is actually insanely good. But I'm not sure if it's better than this. Should be about the same. Sick. Let's take a look. Frontier sets. Dungeon sets, there it is. Yeah, it's about the same actually. Look at this, it's actually insane. 31. It's actually about the same. 2% hit. And then the hat is 1% crit. The PvP helmet will be better for sure though. Since it's 1% hit, 1% crit. Hmm. $18 strength, 25 agility. That is pretty good. Side. Oh. Yeah, become more stealthy. I would want to kill him, but can't do anything. Hello? Loot. Kiss on ceiling, then hit you? No. That would be so comical. If that would happen, that would be so funny. 2k left, okay. So, one more game. One more game.
Completely self-referential. There's no principle in this. There's nothing in this at all. It's hilarious. They're like, no, but am I wrong? Yeah, am I fucking wrong? No, I don't think so. And so anyway, this doesn't only affect big companies.
You know, best case scenario is when my Gnomish mind control cap fails. Whenever it fails, that's when I get I turn hostile and I pull them towards them, you know? And because I'm the path of the person that I'm trying to mind control, they get attacked afterwards. It's really good. And if I mind control a hunter, the pet is still hostile. Yeah, that too. That too. People they just instantly attack. Mm-hmm.
I supply only the finest goods.
Yeah, true. It's like 10 seconds extra. I was thinking about it.
Have a good one.
But sometimes they don't do it. What am I looking for? 4th Ella. Oh, it's even cheaper now, 34%. Okay. Prices are going down again. If you're quick, they probably will. Yeah. Probably. It would be one of those moments where they would, what's it called? I would not crit, I mean. Because they conditioned to do so, yeah. Nobody can pull, so only the mage can pull. Or the hunter. If non-crit ambush doesn't kill, Rogue needs buff. Yeah, it wouldn't kill him for sure. It wouldn't kill him. He also had Ice Barrier. Nope. Look at this. How am I gonna beat this mage? 6k HP mage. He's got more HP than me. But he has a flask though. But still. Apparently. Maybe he just did a battleground. That's crazy.
Companies? No, you're right, it doesn't. But it does affect big companies. That's it. And so you're totally right. Yes. And I think that also most of the companies that people have their money invested into, that they're complaining about stocks, most of those companies have CEOs that, if you used Luigi's logic, deserve a bullet in the back of the head. That's the way it is. And I'm not saying you should do that. I think that's a terrible idea. But that's what he did. And they were you're wrong. Okay. Okay. All right. Don't say I didn't warn you. I said this is going to happen. I said it was going to happen 2 days ago, and we're seeing it happen now. And I think that there's nothing that's more dangerous than people that have nothing left to lose. And I think that's the reason why so many people are okay with the massive discord and panic that the Trump tariffs create, because they want that. They want that to happen because it's like a visceral revenge that they have against a elite economic ruling class that they feel like has disenfranchised them for their whole life. So they don't have any stocks. They don't care about any of this stuff. They want all this stuff to burn down. It's like, again, it's the end of Fight Club. And you can say that's bad. You're not thinking too much into the future. And I think, yeah, it is short-sighted in a lot of ways. Absolutely. But it doesn't matter what you think. It matters what they think, because they're the ones that are acting on it, not you. So that's it. I'll read a few more of these comments, and you know, we'll talk about the tariffs more. But I spent like probably 2 hours reading posts about this yesterday and like trying to understand like what are people thinking, like why is this happening, why is there such a big disconnect, and that's what I think is going on here. It's Longside, exactly. Actually, well, for them it's not. I understand that you can have like a long-term perspective, and I think that moving manufacturing to the U.S. is a good idea, especially as we transition to automation, because if we don't have you know, local national manufacturing, the U.S. will cease to be a producer in almost anything other than like intellectual property. So I think that it's definitely a good decision in some cases to have manufacturing move back over, but this isn't really what people are saying nowadays, right? It's not. They aren't thinking, it's not deep. Well, they are thinking. They're thinking that this is one thing that you need to keep in mind. And this is, remember what I said before about how like I can understand why a person joins ISIS or why a person joins like Hezbollah or you know, Hamas? And like people got mad at me. They were like, oh, well, how could you possibly do that? How could you possibly commiserate with a terrorist? This is the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just a different flavor, and it's not as extreme. Why are you putting their extreme views on a pedestal? Because a lot of people have them. That's the reason why. Yeah, I don't care about tariffs because I pulled my investments and put them in an interest-bearing account. It was obvious this was coming. Yeah, sure. They're acting in their own immediate interest. What does a 401k matter if they can't afford breakfast or basic goods? This is the premise of a tariff enjoyer. This is absolutely it. They've grown up in recessions and downturns, and the only thing that they saw grow was the numbers of billionaires. Of course, they're mad. They're acting in their own immediate interest. What does some 401k matter if they can't afford breakfast or basic goods? That is exactly it. Losers who are bad with money have no retirement plan, no investments, are okay with tariffs, right? Yeah, and this is what I said before about how, you know, whenever we have automation, we're gonna have to bring back slavery or do something that's similar to that, maybe kill a bunch of people. Because what are you gonna do with all these people that, you know, don't have a top 10% level of intelligence in order to perform some kind of job, right? That's still not removed by AI. Well, what do you do with them? Well, you have to do something. Like, people don't see it the way I see it. People don't. This is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. If you think this is bad, this is only going to get worse. It's only going to get way worse. And so UBI depopulation. Yeah, I remember when COVID came out, and I was like, oh, are they doing it? Because I was thinking, because I always thought a really good way to kill a bunch of people would be like do a plague or something, right? But because, like, you know, that worked for Europe, and it didn't really happen, but that's what I thought it was going to be. Yeah, the COVID. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, yeah, China got early access. And anyway, let's see here. Yeah, what a crazy season release. Yeah, crazy, right? We'll get the Pareto principle. This outcome is mathematical certainty in any economy. Of course it is. And it's a mathematical certainty in all realities. So yeah, and let's see here. This is. I want to let you know that following since January, acceptable compelled speech, premise of debate, ban for debating. If you want to argue about one of my moderators, listen. My mods are gods. Okay, I'm not gonna hear any negative complaining about them. If there's an issue, you can bring it to me privately, but you're not going to come into my chat and do some can I speak to the manager bullshit, okay? Like, we're not going to hear it. I don't want to deal with it. If you have an issue, you need to contact me privately and not complain about it in Twitch chat, okay? That's it. Like, these are my mods. A lot, like, they work for free, basically. I mean, I think I bought a few of them, a couple of things, right? But otherwise, they pretty much do this for fucking free. So you've got to find me a really good reason for me to tell them what they need to do, right? And so anyway, the guy's trying to call me out. The person got banned for supporting a white ethno state. Well, whatever they got banned for, it's their prerogative for how they want to manage the Discord or whatever other communities. And if you have an issue with it, you can message me privately. But coming into the stream and doing a can I speak to the manager thing, that's not for me, man. I'm not about it. I don't want to hear it. And so, yeah, there you go. Voluntary slaves. Well, no, not exactly. But you know, anyway, we'll move on and look at this. But that's basically the way that I feel about it. And I've noticed this a lot. And a lot of people don't know how extreme this is going to get. What are my view on the tariffs? I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows. I think that it's massively destabilizing. I know people, I've had friends of mine contact me and they've said like, yeah, bro, like our company is like way worse. Like we have this massive issue with about doing layoffs, right? So like I've had people tell me like that they're really bad. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Do you think he'll revert it? I think that he'll leverage the tariffs in order to get certain negotiation concessions from different countries. That's what I think will happen. Will the tariffs be... Will the tariffs in their current form...
What is that
exist in the
attack
long
range,
term?
bro?
I do not
There's no
think
dead
that
zone
it
anymore.
does, yes.
It's. I feel like they removed the dead zone.
In, 6 months from now, we're going to be looking at the exact same tariffs. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. They're already negotiating? Yeah, of course they are. Because it would be bad for them, too. It's bad for us, and it's bad for them. And this is like, again, Trump negotiates, and this is the way that a lot of people that are very good negotiators, they walk the razor's edge of being a great negotiator by being extremely fucking, what's the word? Just like not callous, but just not even giving a fuck, right? They aggressive, unpredictable. Yes, exactly. Harsh, abrasive. Well, yeah, it's completely unpredictable. And there's no degree of self-preservation with them. And if you're negotiating with a person that has no perception of self-preservation, it's very, very scary to negotiate with a person like that because you never know what they're going to do. They'll set themselves on fire if they mean it'll burn you. And so, oh fuck, right? Like, how do you deal with that? So that's the reason why Trump is, I think, strong at negotiating, is because he's willing to set a bunch of people on fire. Straight up. Like, that's the reason. And like, if you negotiate with a person like that, that's really fucking hard to do, right? Because it's basically like, yeah, it'll hurt us, but it'll also hurt you. How much do you want to get hurt? And that's it. And it's again, you could say it's like a mafia tactic or whatever, but it does work with a lot of people. And so, yeah, leaning left today. Am I really? I mean, I don't think that I'm really leaning left. I think this is anything that I'm saying left wing here? I feel like this is just the truth. This is the way it is. I don't know what you want me to say. Yeah, who said that? I don't know. Yeah, it's pure logic. Yeah, this is all logic. And so anyway, yeah, my reg button is bigger than yours. Exactly. We imposed tariff in 2017. Multiple countries in the U.S. economy flourished under Trump's administration. How is this any different? I'm not... Why, like... Nobody knows what's going to happen. Why are we even debating this? Nobody has any idea what the end game for this is. So yeah, I mean, these are blanket tariffs. It's very different. Well, I'm saying, like, nobody knows. That's my point. Trump bootlickers are nihilists and Joker style, watch it burn, not a serious people. Well, and this is a really good point that you're bringing up here, is that tariff bootlickers are nihilists and Joker style, to watch it all burn, not serious people. Well, they don't need to be serious to cause serious damage, do they? And the Joker blew up a bunch of buildings. So, do you want to have somebody like that in your city? Nope, you don't. And so that's the way it is. But no, and he's right. Like, that's absolutely it. But here's the thing, is that when you feel like you've grown up in a circus, you turn into the Joker. What a surprise. And this is the reason why, again, a lot of the people that are supporting these tariffs are young people, especially young men. The stock market's crashing? Yeah, and they don't give a fuck about that. It's fake money anyway. That's the reason. Okay, Bozo? No, see, you might not understand. This is what I was saying before. Again, do you see how all this fits together about how, like, they need to, like, bring back some form of, like, neo-feudalism or, you know, like, have a depopulation effort or something? Because, like, you're gonna have so many of these people that inside of a democratic system, they will outvote you and cause problems. I just, like, I don't think people understand what's coming. They really don't. Why would we give a fuck about that old rich fucks that are losing money? Exactly. And these are people, and you know who really cares a lot about stocks? Two groups of people care a lot about stocks. Number one is, you know, obviously rich people, and number two is old people. So with you, when you have a group of people who think that boomers have fucked up the economy and they hate boomers, and now you have a system where basically boomers are getting absolutely fucked by this system, They're happy. I think that many people really don't understand how popular revenge is. And that's it. Let's remove the boomers. Well, this will remove boomers. When they run out of money and they die because they can't afford healthcare, this is a boomer remover. It will be. Now, it might take a couple of years if the stock market keeps going down, but it will kill them. Now, it doesn't kill them directly, right? But it will do it indirectly. Well, now, no, am I wrong? Of course it will. You take away people's money and then they can't afford to get healthcare and they die. Duh. It happens all the time in America. Not wrong, no. And I'm just talking about this the way it is. That's it. Perfect plan, exactly. Also die with job loss. Yes, clearly. It'll kill young people far faster. No, young people will not be killed by not being able to afford healthcare at the same rate that old people will. What a stupid thing to say. Anyway, but I'll get to, I know like JD Vance did an interview about this and there are some other things that were happening. So, you know, we'll move back and forth with it, right? And, but happy, but young people are not impacted by tariffs. Like the Democrats are not freaking out about the Tesla fires. Well, it depends, right? It's two very different things, though. Boomers have Medicare, they'll lose their houses, and we can buy them cheap. Exactly. Yep. And by the way,
that was
some
big
people might
damage.
think like that's a horrible thing to say. Yeah, that's what people have been doing for thousands of years. Yeah, they've been doing this forever. We're not. You have to understand that if you look at like all human history, right?
Let me see. There's no wing commanders. What is this? I can't turn my mouse. Holy shit. Work. Finally. Let me see. What did you say? Sometimes. Wonder how chance works. Blizzard insta frostbite. Warrior insta mace proc. Another warrior insta hamster proc. Majority of people, everybody though, are people working minimum wage. Anyone who is employed, if money is worth less. It means employers are getting fucked. Good for people who can pay back debt or have a cushion to fall back on. If the dollar is 10% less worth, companies will just up the price 10% to compensate. They probably do 50% just to push their luck. If anything spawns back, they will add another 5% in price. I guess. What? They're not here. They died? People already turned them in, probably. Okay, I got enough honor, at least.
So this is all of human history. Give me 1 second. This is the part where we don't rape and pillage. And this is the part where we do. So, when you understand this graph, people are programmed to think in the red. They're not programmed to think in the green. That's it. Looks like a blunt? Well, maybe so. Yeah, Schedule 1, bring it back. And it could still ruin your life. You can't afford healthcare and you have a baby or car, puts you 30K in debt you can't recover from. Yeah, no, for sure it will. Yeah, no, you're right. But I'm talking about like ratios and averages, right? That's clearly what we're discussing here. Young people need homes too. Exactly. And I think this is, they've been using this for years. Yeah, and so there's two ways. How do you fix housing? Well, there's two ways. You either make new houses or you get the people out of current houses. So if you have a system that by a third order of effect kills people, then that's going to fix housing a little bit, wouldn't it? It would, because they're dead, so who's going to be in the house? And that's what it's going to be. Yeah, deport illegals. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling y'all this is what's going to happen. And you might think I'm crazy, but in time, you'll see the truth. you'd rather kill people instead of building more. I didn't say I wanted to do that. I think it's a bad idea. But what I'm saying is that other people don't. And what I'm saying is that you can't, like, people always make these these moral arguments, and they're not real. Like, these are like fake arguments that people don't really believe in. They would be more than willing to do something horrible to another person in order to get what they want. And that's like I think that most average people are like way worse than you can imagine. They are way worse than you can imagine, and you have no idea how fast and how easily they can support something that is completely dehumanizing. Yeah, supply and demand. Yeah, don't be so nihilistic, dude. I'm not nihilistic. I'm just looking at history, and I'm looking at common sense. That's all. China imposes 34% on all U.S. imports. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. This is going to be a pretty exciting time, isn't it? Man, I thought we were cooked yesterday. Little did I know that we were only marinated. Oh no, this is going to be... Trade wars usually don't end after the first 1 or 2 moves. Yeah, this is going to go on and on and on. And I think this is going to be crazy. I don't know really what's going to happen, but right now I think everything's up in the air pretty much. So yeah, it's insane. Tax the penguins? I did see that. Yes, Trump put a tariff or a tax or something like that on an island where only penguins live on it.
Interest you on a pint? What's your bet?
Wow. 30% damage done. That's insane amount. US also been saying people have been investing into us after dollar tanked. That makes no sense to me. It works for people who have chains in the US because it should be cheaper to get loans and whatnot. But starting a new long-term project in times of chaos and uncertainty feels like a huge risk. Should bring buff to raid, like Sing Boss and Black Monera. Also get Berserking on top of that. That would be crazy. I would have like 20 seconds maybe that I could use it if I time everything right and sprint all the way and stuff and summons. That would be insane damage though. Probably like 5k, 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 you know, and damage. Backstabs. The 30% damage was 3 minutes. Then I would have to end the game, enter Battleground to get Berserking, another one. think they haven't sent back the wing commanders yet. Armor buff is nice though for Warrior Druid. Yeah, it is. 10% armor is pretty good. It's like the Darkmoon Fair buff. There's also one that gives you 10% armor. Fuck. He's coming back. Any unique items left? Next, chest piece, but only have 3 armor for this kind of bad. How much armor do you get on your rogue? 1900, 26%. Yeah. Slow them down. If you're able to make lock tank work, there should be buffs like threat increase, yeah, like Paladin Blessing, Blessing of Valor or something. That would be cool. I feel like I should continue to see if the wing commanders have been sent back. Stormpack 8 station has been taken, okay. Blessing of Heroism, that'd be cool also. Blessing of Berserking. Nah, it is a blessing, so it should be something positive, right? Blessing of Sanity. Which makes you immune to Fair. Okay, this one has been sent back. He might be dead already. Oh, Dardoch is here. Whoop. Oh, it's the same rogue. Now I can go to Tower Point. Oh, they pull. Oh shit. We lose. We lost, I think. They're on van. Wait. We won. Woohoo. Alright, I have enough honor. Let's go. I don't need to turn in those marks. Yeah, let's see. Is anyone selling buffs?
Good day to you.
Good day to you. See you around. Alright, I'll check auction house one last time. Still expensive. Oh, a buff is popping. There we go, got it. There we go. $33, 2 gold. Okay. Well, I'm done with my farming on Sunday. Well, Saturday, really. Evening, I suppose. Let's see here. I'm looking for a mage. I can also do it next time, though. I need to get a world boss for next week, next Friday. He's ignoring me. All right. let's see, I'm 11. Yeah, I need 500k. Next week I'll be rank 12 with 24%. And then the week after that, I'll be rank 12 with 98%. After that, rank 13, so in 3 weeks, rank 13 with 34%. And then I get rank 13 with 68%, and then I hit 100. I hit the last week. I also only need 420k apparently, not 500k. So you end with 0%. I don't know if it works or not. I'm thinking about it, you know, because I saw my mom. She got 4 ranks up, and that should be impossible. Like, her limited amount was 100k, and she got 200k. And because of that, she went 1 rank up higher. So maybe if I get, like, another 500k, I'll rank up instantly to another one. But I would need a lot, like 500k probably. Should check. Yeah, but the honor calculator doesn't know it. Well, that's not going to be enough for 100% sure. Because just alone, what I need, let me see here, rank 11. The minimum I need already is 256,000. That's the first minimum that I need to gain a little bit of points. And then the checkpoint after that is 418k and then 500k. So I'm not sure. I think I would have to get a lot. Probably like 500k at least. 8 days a week, yeah. I'll just do it the normal way. I don't want to risk it. Oh, my neck. Let's see. $10 minutes, 2 minutes. What layer is that? Layer 3. Then should join a layer. Yes, there we go. Let's see, do I change layer? It's not a whole lot better, but it is better for sure. Look, let me see here. PvP. It's more damage, 6 more damage. Although 20 more minimum damage, almost. 22 more minimum damage, that's really big actually. 4 more end damage. I get 1% crit, 28 attack power instead of a proc, which is really big. Only 0.8 more DPS. I think it's more than 2%. If it's based on the weapon itself anyway. But my DPS increase might be like 2% increase, yeah, I don't know. But I get 2 of them. That's the thing, I get 2 of them. So I get quite a lot of AP and 2% crit. Which is quite big. One minute left. This slow weapon though, it is. But I think it's too much damage difference. Like my distracting, it's like double my distracting dagger. So I think it's worth it. I mean, it's also almost twice as fast though, so I guess that makes sense, but I think it's worth it. I also get a crit and attack power. I just hope by that time that I'll have the gloves with dagger skill on it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I popped it already. I just need to spam it. And then I log out. A half and log out. Then next time I'll log in, which is the reason you have it now. Well, yeah, and its attack speed is good too. But I just think it's not worth it. I think it's more DPS. I mean, I can test it, you know, I can just try one time with the dagger and then once without, and then see the difference. I'm sure it'll be better though. People keep telling me I got too much dagger skill, but I think not. Well.